Welcome back to the channel, and thank you all for watching HCKT TV. Make sure you visit Everett, Kentucky. That's my hometown and the hometown of heroes. While you're visiting Everett, stay at Black Mountain Cabins and Campers, located there in Everett, Kentucky, just minutes from the trailhead. Also, while you're in Everett, eat at the Southern Belle Restaurant, located in downtown Everett. Also, if you support the channel, scan that QR code. Let's get started into this video. Thank you for watching. Where is the transparency at, Mr. Government? I can't see it. The Black Mountain Off-Road Adventure Area has released a 2025 riding schedule, so please come to Harlan County and ride with me. I hope to see you there. What is going on, everybody? It's Sunday. I think today's the 30th. It took me 2 days to put these hurricane in the hollers together for you. Anyway, this is part 4. Don't forget about us. I want y'all to have a blessed day. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's get into it.
Because obviously we can't give a live Christmas tree to the elders for them to have a little piece of Christmas. We've done these ceramic Christmas trees.
It's going to be a different Christmas for all of us. I can't be selfish and worry about what I've lost when so many other people have lost so much more.
We had over 600 families in Yancey County that had stated that they needed financial assistance for Christmas for their children. And so we actually had more donors than we had families that needed assistance.
There's an organization that one of our locals works with, Toys for Tots. His name's Mark Thomas. Mark assured me 3 weeks ago there would not be a child in Mitchell County that did not have Christmas.
So it's just a little party for the community. This Christmas, hot chocolate and hot apple cider. We have a bonfire going here. We have s'mores and s'more stations for the kiddos. So rather than adopt a family program, we're putting on a Christmas market. So we have a tent here that kids can come and play and do activities and just build community and play together. While in the tent right beside it, their parents will be shopping for gifts. And the parents will go home with wrapping paper and tape and scissors and be able to do Christmas the way that they want to. And so it's important for tonight to be a light in the darkness, because we're also doing full dinners for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for all of our seniors and disabled community members that we regularly serve. So we are the ones who are out there feeding them, bringing them little items of comfort, like a crossword puzzle book or a ceramic Christmas tree.
Luckily, I didn't have foundation damage. It was still sitting, so it can be rebuilt, and it can be rebuilt on that land. I'm just glad to see him playing a little bit because, you know, he was traumatized too. I'm renting a place, which was actually, the rent was covered by donations for 6 months, and hopefully I can move back to my home. My yard is still total sand. I mean, it's total sand. But I want to live there again. The first few days, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. But I want to live I lived right back there. That was home. That was home. I sat on their porch and watched my house fill up. And I had a big picture window, and the logs, trees, roots and all, I heard them go against the house, and it broke out the big picture window. And I watched it as long as I could stand to watch it. I was very, very emotional just watching everything that I owned ruin.
This is sadly not the first time we've had to be in a situation like this.
Right.
It's drawing in on a week now since these fires here in downtown Spruce Pine. The shock is still there for many people in town.
I watched my building burn for probably till about 3 that morning.
Aaron Buchanan used to live here in the upstairs of this store. Now he looks out on his building with many unanswered questions.
Just got upstairs and unpacked my stuff. That I had stuff laying everywhere. And I started smelling smoke. All of a sudden, it started coming through my light fixtures in the ceiling. Black smoke. And then I heard somebody yelling. I had a cat at that time. Threw him in a carrier, grabbed my purse, and the fire department was getting ready to knock my door down. Apparently, there was an arsonist, to my understanding.
With federal agents still standing guard and crime scene tape circling the scenes, this town continues to grieve.
I was very saddened. Seems like that the community's just very, very struck by this tragedy.
My apartment got damaged from the smoke and from the fire hoses. So yeah, I went through that and rented a house for 6 months, and that's when I bought the house I was in. So it's not been good for me to have a home here, but we moved forward. We all were very complacent in our lives and, content, and then this happened, and we, what do? You have to make a new plan.
If you want to look at the wall, and the mark on the wall, the water was about 8.5 feet. We're still not 100% sure how long the water was in the building. We're thinking maybe 24 hours before it receded. When the water came in, everything just started rolling out and floating down. I'd go and I'd blow a picture up and I'd look when the water was still that high. I found my couch floating down the river. I saw couch cushions. I saw coffee bags floating down the river. It was just really surreal. Actually, I got into a argument with someone online the other night because they don't even live here, and they were trying to say that all those pictures were AI. Those were not AI pictures. Lady, I am DTs. That is real. Those are my couch cushions. Those were real pictures of what actually happened.
I would never in a million years would imagine this. It picked this freezer up. Picked this freezer up, rammed it up into the roof, and then brought it back out, and it was sitting right here. And there was appliances out the back door. There was stuff in the cooler area that wasn't supposed to be there. I mean, everything was just looked like someone had a rage fit in here. Your first look, just looking at everything, is like everything's just washed away. Nothing's where it's supposed to be. We were closed for all of November, all of October, and then the last 3 days of September after the hurricane.
In a restaurant, I can only speak of restaurants, but generally retail and restaurants kind of run hand in hand. October, November, December are your busy months. And then you use that, especially living in a small mountain town, to survive January, February, March into spring again. So it did hit at the absolute worst time. It took us about 2 days to get out of our neighborhood. We had significant damage to our home as well. And then once we actually got out of the neighborhood and made it down to the shelter, people were telling us about the store. So we came down and it was gone. We've been here 20 years. Just celebrated March of last year, our 20-year anniversary. And we just decided on day 3 after the storm that we were going to rebuild. This is our livelihood. We love our community and we wanted to come back.
I was at home in McDowell County, so whenever everything happened, I had a hard time getting up here because 221 was closed, 181 was closed, Peppers Creek was closed. Every route to get here was pretty much closed. So I sat behind a work truck on 181 while they cut down trees the whole way up until I finally got here. Whenever the front window busted, everything came in. And that's the way I had to come in, because there was mud in the front doors. The back door had appliances like wedged up in it, couldn't get through there, so I had to crawl through the busted out window. Went and got pressure washers, and the next day we had maybe 5 of our crew in here and was just trying to wash everything, starting with the floor and get everything outside and start trying to clean up and really assess how much we had lost and how much we still had.
to have so many strangers reach out to us and want to help us, it was overwhelming. And they went from my building down to the next building, down to the next building. They were here for weeks on end. Never met them before a day in my life. And they walked in with shovels and said, we're here to help. It was overwhelming. I cried on average about 3 times a day in the mud, and the volunteers would pick me up and pray over me and help me get up, and we just kept moving. And everybody just helped us gut all the buildings, and what that did, it saved the majority of the buildings downtown. We didn't have to worry if the buildings were going to get condemned or not, because we all actually did the work that needed to be done, and those volunteers were right there by all of our sides doing it with us. People don't realize, the people that are boots on the ground during disasters, how much they reinstill your faith in humanity.
Another thing that's not been talked about in our county a lot is the slow death of our small businesses. So our small businesses were impacted by the power outage, by the flooding, but then the long one that got them was the water and sewer outage. You know, there's our food service sector is primarily located in Spruce Pine, and they were nearly 2 months without water and sewer.
You know, it's a tough situation. You know, the town is different. You have business owners that are open that are struggling, of course. I know when we were fortunate at our retail shop, but we didn't have any sales for 28 days. But we had a place to go. The biggest thing I can say is from our state level and our national level, you know, they have got to release funds that are directed toward small business recovery, not alone. They call it grants, I call it free money. Because without that help, you know, it's going to be a very, very slow process, and some businesses may not open back up.
If you walk up and down the street, you'll see every single building is completely emptied. Not every business has the ability to borrow money, and it's just a disappointment. I guess I just was hoping that there would be more opportunities for us out there.
But as a business owner, most businesses, you know, already have a loan. So can you afford to have 2 loans? And will you ever recoup that money that you've went and borrowed?
Been doing this business for 24 years, 20 years in this location, and I had 4 years left to my retirement plan. And I had to take out a 30-year loan to make this happen. We have applied for 13 grants. Only grant that came through for us was our local community, downtown Main Street. You know, everybody is applying, all the different counties that have been destroyed. There's just not enough money to go around.
FEMA has been great to help with municipalities, towns, cities, county government, small business. There is no help. Trillions of dollars to different countries to fight wars. And here we sit in small Mitchell County, North Carolina, that's been devastated by a major disaster, along with our neighbors, Avery County, Yancey County, Madison County, McDowell County, and Buncombe County. We're all sitting here with devastation. And looking, where do we go now?
You know, DT's Coffee Shop was a cornerstone business here, and it was completely destroyed. And Dave and Trish have been at that for their whole. I was Trish's first customer when I was in high school, and she opened up just a tiny little ice cream shop down there. And then to see something like that happen to her just breaks your heart, you know.
How was the support from community members the day that you reopened? What was that like?
We were so busy that we couldn't breathe. People knew our parking lot was full. People knew it was going to take an hour. We were telling people it was going to take an hour to get their food or even get their order, and they didn't care. They were just happy to be here, happy to see us open, and that was everything to us. It let us know that all the work, all the hell that we went through in those 2 months to get back to where we're at, it meant something to other people too.
I'm doing a whole new layout for the store. I wanted to give the community something new to be excited about. No old memories. I want all new. I want everybody to be excited to want to become downtown again. We believe in our community, Mitchell County strong. I bought the building. My husband and I bought the building in 2020, and this was our retirement. And because we believed in this community, and that's why we're coming back. Just want our life back.
I work right here. I built the road back. You can see where the shoulder slid off, and it slid right here. And up here, the creek had undercut the road up here in a spot or two, so we had to build it back. Right up here is one of the spots, but water just got up so high it washed the shoulder stuff out. So right here's another slide we had to fix. But say nothing's been done to the creek, so the creek's still running up against the road. And this right here, the state had just fixed this about 2 weeks before the storm, and it washed it out again. Most of the creek beds and river beds are full, so it wouldn't take but another good storm to all this stuff you see to wash it away again. You imagine all that underwater? This rock that we used is mine waste. Used to, they'd ground that up for feldspar, but now nobody wants feldspar, they want quartz. So they had all that mine waste rock, Sabelco and Quartz Corp. So they got rid of their waste.
I'll say this for both entities, both the Quartz Corp and Sabelco. Both of them were given a tremendous amount of latitude, autonomy to help out. At one point, they basically just said, look, if you're an equipment operator in the company and your neighborhood is damaged, come and get the Volvo Traco and take it to your house and help your neighbors. I know at least one of those entities paid their people, I believe it was $500 a week for those first couple of weeks while they were getting absolutely nothing back in return for it aside from community goodwill. There was a lot of shot rock and byproduct from the mine that was made available, millions and millions of tons. It was made available for filling up washouts and roads and getting temporary passageways up, right, and it was immediate.
And it saved the state money because they didn't have to buy the rock. It worked out for the state and local people about getting the road back. It don't take much rain now to cause more damage.
With the levels that the river beds and the creek beds have risen to with all the change in their pathways, that's a huge concern because we don't have the depth that we used to. Everything is wider, and it doesn't take long at all for water to fill those spaces. And that's going to cause us to have flooding at points where typically we would have had plenty of room for water, and it's no longer there. 3-4 inches of rain is going to create some significant issues for us in Mitchell County now.
Right now, a normal rainstorm has been putting us a lot of things inaccessible. Our biggest thing is we still have over 60 residents we can't access to with a fire engine. We can medically. We can get our medical vehicles in, but not our larger engines.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that reality is at the level that it needs to be because the access to so many of our citizens is cut off, and it's still cut off. There's people walking in and out. There's people riding side-by-sides or ATVs from point A to point B to get to a point where they can get access out.
Another priority need for Mitchell County is private bridges. We had over 120 private bridges washed away. Some of those folks have been able to help themselves and get a bridge, but most have not got bridges. We're lobbying the FEMA side of the coin to try to get guidance and a waiver of regulations. Right now on a private bridge, if we do the amount of regulations correctly that the federal government requires, And the state government requires it's going to take us 2 to 3 months to get through the regulatory aspects of building a private bridge. So, as we go into recovery, it's the long game. We are working on stream debris removal, road debris removal as you drive our roads. Still got a lot of debris along them. We're doing a lot of assessments on our fire load on our forests.
It could be a major problem 3 to 5 years down the road. We've already talked to a lot of some of these landowners that have a lot of this land about prescribed controlled burns in the future, simply because 30% of the timber in this area is on the ground. There's places that's hundreds of yards that's just like it's been mowed. So you're talking about a major amount of fuel for woods fires and things like that in the future. So absolutely, fire is definitely going to be a problem down the road if it's not addressed.
It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight for probably 4 or 5 years before it becomes normal again.
If you really put this thing on a schedule, we're way ahead of schedule where we should be in the recovery effort. That's a testament to the people in the county. That's a testament to the people here. They're resilient. Everybody's gotten out and they've done their part. But the biggest thing is there's still so far to go.
We're in a very, very, very good place considering what we lost and where we've come to.
We're getting there. It's getting better. And as you can see, traffic's flowing, power's back on, lives are going back to normal-ish.
A couple of weeks ago, the power flickered at our house, went out for maybe 30 seconds. One of our daughters totally flipped out, scared to death. Come running down the steps. Mom, where you at, Mom? Because it's a little bit dark, just turning dark outside. The child was totally scared to death. So, every time that light flickers, you're wondering, okay, are we going to be in darkness again?
Don't forget about us. The news cycle moves so fast. And I think that's what people are scared of.
We saw all these people here, and then right on the heels of that, Hurricane Milton comes through Florida. Well, a lot of the help that was here and a lot of people that were here, they took off and they went to Florida to help with that cause. And they were needed. But that didn't lessen the need here still.
In another 6 months, a year, 2 years, we're still going to be here dealing with this.
When you go back and you think about it, it took 50 years for us to get to where we're at, and that was gone in 30 minutes.
I wish I could do more for people. And I'm struggling to get back on my feet too. I'm just waiting on the house, but I just wish I could do more. And it has made me I've never thought about sending money to another place if they had floods. I'm totally rethinking that now because I know how much it meant to me.
If people don't pull together, communities like this don't survive.
I encourage people to see opportunity here, invest here. It's a great community, and probably more so than ever, we're together.
In the last month, we've had a whole lot of changes. We evolved out of our warehouse and were able to find a permanent home for rebuilding Hollers Foundation. And so in that space, we still are doing distribution. Except for now, we're solely focused on building materials, supplies, heat sources, power sources, and RV accessories because we have over 300 community members living in RVs and tractor sheds. And so we want to make sure to have those accessories available for them. But our big focus, what we're really working hard on, Project 32. So that is a huge, huge thing that we're working on. We have well over 100 projects that we are actively participating in right now. So we have a lot of things going on to get people what they need so that they can get their property put back. There's so much need, and I feel super teeny tiny. But I know we've been able to make it the last 4 months and get folks everything they need. So we're going to keep doing it.
I've seen far more good than I have seen bad with all of this.
Our community has shined in this moment. We had a lot of IMT teams come in and a lot of different first responders, rescue groups come in. And they were always taken back by how our people stepped up and made the effort to make recovery happen.
From these people from the outlying areas that brought in machines and track hoes and anything that they could do to clear debris, if that don't happen, we're not able to do the job that we had to do. And for that, I'll promise you everybody here is very appreciative of that, and it's not gone unnoticed.
But our little town has come together and loved on each other and reached a helping hand, and we've just done what we could.
It was crazy times, but we got a pause from technology and a busy life, and we all just got to be with each other. I would not wish this on anybody, but that time we spent with each other, just bonding, just people struggling, trying to survive, hugged people, that I haven't seen since childhood.
Grinding every day, trying to get Yancey County back to what it once was or something better.
We love our community. I believe in our community. I believe in our leaders in our community, and they'll help us make the right choices and decisions. We're all working together. So that's all we can do at this point.
All those task force and the National Guard and the Army and all those people, man, you can't line them up and let me thank them enough. It was truly a pleasure to have them and help them and serve them and make sure that they kept going. Same thing with our local police. Our sheriff's department was unbelievable. Those guys and girls are just above and beyond what anybody should do or have been asked to have done. So, lucky to live where we live.
I can't be more grateful than to live here in Mitchell County, because that's what Mitchell County is about, supporting each other, being there for each other.
Don't forget about us. Don't forget about us.
Our mountains are very special. When you walk up on those ridges and you just look out at those mountains rolling out in front of you, when you see those mountain folks and they're kind-natured people, our local communities are very special. Our mountain identity is one of independent, hardworking mountain people up here, and I love it.
That's just amazing how that community is sticking together like that. It's sad, but it shows strength in the people, and the people can unite and get stuff done. And it also shows that the government doesn't move quick enough to help you. So if something happens, we all have to get together and do it. Until the next video, guys, y'all take care. Thank y'all for watching all 4 parts if you did. If you didn't, you really need to check it out. It's a very interesting story. Anyway, guys, take care. God bless you. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.